It was a great night of high school football action on Friday with a number of Lowcountry teams looking to take home lower state titles and advance to the state championship. The game of the night was supposed to be in Class 5A Division I, a rematch between James Island and Summerville, but it did not turn out that way as Summerville flexed their muscles in this one. Summerville simply too much for James Island. The Trojans held the Green Wave to their lowest point total of the season earlier this year in a 14-9 loss. But James Island and their defense couldn't hold the Summerville offense in check this time around. In particular, running back Javen Williams, he simply ran wild against the Trojans. 4 rushing touchdowns on the night from just about everywhere on the field, opening the game with a 69-yard scoring run. He also added scores of 5 yards, 24 yards, and 2 yards, a simply dominant performance in which James Island was not able to get on the board until late in the third quarter as the Trojans' season came to an end. Summerville moves on to a state title rematch with Dutch Fork next Saturday night in Orangeburg, and that will be televised on MyTV Charleston.
No, it definitely doesn't get old. We're excited to have another shot at it. I thought our kids and coaches did a hell of a job this week. It was a great week of preparation. We played the way that we're supposed to play, and you kind of see the results, and we do things we're supposed to do.
What did that domination feel like tonight?
It felt great, man. The first time we didn't really do too much. We left a lot on the field on the offensive side, and we just came out and executed the plan.
But I'm just so proud of this team and how far we've come since week 1. We're killing it, and we got one more. Let's go one more.
Dutch Fork again, I think they said on there. Does that revenge thing kind of play in?
No, we don't do revenge. I can't really give you anything on that. It's different teams, different years. We're just excited to be able to go up there and compete for a state championship.
Meanwhile, in Class 3A, the beat goes on for Oceanside. It doesn't matter the class, classification, or opponent. As DJ Khaled would tell you, all they do is win, 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 no matter what. And against Loris, the Land Sharks unleashed the beast that is Terrence Johnson, who was simply unstoppable every time he touched the football, opening the scoring for Oceanside with a 60-yard touchdown run on 4th and 2. They couldn't catch him. He would add another 1-yard touchdown on the ground and also caught a 15-yard score from quarterback Aiden Manavian. But the play of the game, this one right here, may not have been a touchdown at all. This reception, he appeared to be stopped, but instead adds a good 20 yards to it while dragging the entire Loris defense with him. It all added up to a 38-7 victory for the Land Sharks and a return trip to the state championship game and a rematch with Belton-Honia Path.
Man, that's a great one. Kids worked really hard all week. That's a good football team over there, man. They got a bunch of athletes, great quarterback. Our defense played great, and this one carried us all night on offense. Proud to be his coach tonight. He makes me look like a good coach. Man, it's tough. It's hard to win state championships. You got to be lucky. You got to have great players like 88 right here. But they made me look good as a coach, to be honest with you. These guys work their butts off. They don't give me any problems. We never have any problems at school, any problems at practice. Man, they just come to work, love each other, work their butts off, and they want to win a ring next Friday.
Of course, it was not good news for every team in the Lowcountry. Berkeley making it to the Class 5A Division II lower state title game, but unfortunately they had to travel to Columbia to meet up with the juggernaut that is Irmo and the Yellow Jackets. All business in this one. The Stags fell behind by 20 and were never able to recover as the Yellow Jackets defense was able to contain quarterback Henry Rivers for most of the game. He tosses a touchdown pass to Malik Cullen for the Stags' only points. Rivers held to just 63 yards passing and 63 yards rushing. Cullen had 81 yards receiving, pretty much the only offense the Stags could muster in a 44-6 loss. And the Cross Trojans traveling up to Bamberg-Earhart for their Class A lower state title matchup. Cross spending most of the night overcoming deficits of 14-10 before finally taking the lead late, but they could not hold off the undefeated Red Raiders. BE scoring a 29-26 victory. USC-bound Caden Ramsey with a rushing touchdown and a pick 6. He also tallied 10 tackles on the other side of the ball, but that was not enough as the Trojans' season comes to an end at 11-2.
I told the team before we left, we are still the lower state champions, and somebody got to beat us, and until that happens, that's how we were going to act. And it was a 4-quarter game, came down to the last seconds. And my hat's off to Bamberg, they do a good job, but extremely proud of my coaching staff, this team, this community. Cross High School, we've become a proud tradition, and we're just extremely happy about where we are. Hats off to them. And where can you find all the South Carolina state title matchups? Well,
only on My TV Charleston. Class 3A, Oceanside versus Belton-Honia Path. That starts the action at noon on December 5th. And then Class A, Lamar at Bamberg-Earhart. And then at 4 p.m., it's Class 5A Division II with Northwestern versus Irmo. That one at 7:30. And then Class 4A, South Point versus South Florence, my alma mater. That one's on the 6th of December at noon. Class 2A, Strom-Thurmond versus Hampton follows that up at 4 p.m. And then Class 5A Division I, there you go, Summerville, the Greenway versus Dutch Fork at 7:30 p.m. And again, you can catch every game, every play on My TV Charleston.